slide presentation, and her articulation of theory was done in a very effective manner. The impact that she highlighted regarding the implementation of her survey, I thought would be value added to the department. And so those are some of my observations.
Yeah, I mean, that was really very well put together. The survey itself, which she gave us a copy of it, and I think it really demonstrates that need to have that community connection and that foresight about how this could be a useful document. Has a lot of potential. I have a quick question for you, if you could. The 9-month mark.
Yes, sir.
Why that mark? Why not sooner? Why not later? Can you talk a little bit about that?
The Victim Services Unit, they contact the next of kin of homicide victims and also the victims of non-fatal shootings. They contact them on a specific schedule. So first, after 24 hours after an incident occurs, and then so on and so forth. 2 months, 1 month. The last follow-up that they do is on the 1-year mark of their traumatic event, whether it's a death or if they were affected themselves. Now, the 1-year mark would be too re-traumatizing to ask them to complete a survey about, the process of their investigation. So the 9-month mark, as this time is coming up, it would be a good time to kind of gauge, like, if the resources and the assistance that were provided by the Victim Services Unit and personnel of BPD were effective, and if they actually were impacted in a positive way.
That's why I wanted to ask.
Yes.
So I really appreciate it. Yeah, strong delivery, very well thought out. I think this would be a really helpful thing to, as he said, move the needle. So we appreciate your thoughts on that.
Thank you.
Hi, Esme.
Hi.
You did a wonderful job.
Thank you.
Tremendous poise. When you exude that kind of professionalism and confidence, you give confidence in the audience that what you proposed is going to work. So great kudos to you there for showing the way. And I also think you did a great job of linking your proposal and best practices to existing programs, not only within the police department, but on the national scale through the public safety partnership.
Right. Yes, sir.
I can see this coming to fruition, and without it being a heavy lift, so great job.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I join in all the comments that have been made already. I just want to talk about presentation. I think that it's all, for everybody, it's just always great when you can start a presentation by rendering the room neutral or friendly, and you did that with how you started and making just some light humor. So that's just a great way to start. You have picked a project that is needed in Baltimore. Our concern always is to find ways to make the community more confident in the services that they're receiving from the police department, and the survey is intended to do that. Anytime that we can do more outreach to the community, let them know about the professionalism here within BPD, that's a great bonus. So I just absolutely love that you picked a project that addresses real concerns for Baltimore. The lack of communication is something that we're hearing a lot about in the press, and the survey will take care of that. I think it should be adopted easily. And as a lawyer, I always look to, it's just such a burden sometimes to be a lawyer. You can always look to say, what are the legal consequences of paper and documentation?
Right.
And I'm not giving a legal opinion, but I didn't think there was any negative legal consequence of what you created.
Thank you. And we also had the opportunity to hear from Mr. Albert Johnson, and Mr. Johnson's presentation centered on outreach and resource opportunities for the female reentry population. One of the things I appreciated about your presentation was identifying a gap. We know that violence can often have an adverse impact on our communities, and we also know, though, that our returning citizens need a pathway so that they don't reoffend and reengage in crime and violence. One of the recommendations and feedback I would give is to also make sure you build the bridges and the links into those organizations such as YAP and ROCA to explain why they're important, because someone may say, well, how does the Baltimore City Police Department connect to these community-based programs? So I thought you did a good job in identifying a significant gap based on your presentation and connection within the department. And things to think about is making sure that you elevate how those linkages are important as well. So good job.
Yeah, I think part of what I could sense from your presentation was the passion that you have for this particular topic, which is so important in everything that's done in the agency. Everybody that I think comes to work every day shows their passion, shows their intellect, shows their drive to making sure that we're making the department better. My question for you is, you know, in thinking about the kinds of services that reentry, populations come, to us to seek, what do you think are the kind of services that would be most effective in the female population that's coming through that reentry portal?
The Alpha Justice Program. Definitely partnering with Ms. Nicole Miguel, getting her insight on how she was able to help out a lot of incarcerated women that was coming home and everything as well. Also having more like resources that engage with the women that's coming from being incarcerated. So from our understanding, Roka and Yap just are not necessarily focused on that general group at the moment. So also to try to get them also to shift the focus onto those women as well. Because y'all have the great resources within Roka and Yap. They are great. I have the opportunity to talk to each and every single last one. They are great. They are great at what they do. So just trying to include the women.
Again, that equity lens is something we're trying to make sure